And so you here, it means you want to learn. And so there's no other place that I like to be than with people who like to learn. So thank you so much for having me here at the PG DIP. It's a PG DIP.
Yes.
And so not only are you people in society and taking your place, but you want to further yourself. So I acknowledge you for that. A lot of people have been invited to this particular session, but not everybody attended. So you here, it tells me something about you. It tells me that you have drive. See, you are driven to be here. Like me, I'm here. I don't have to be here, but I'm here. It took time, energy, money for me to be here, but I'm here. So you here, and I'm here, and there's a reason why we are here. See, the reason brings us here. Now, others didn't have that reason to be here. That's why they're not here. You see, whenever we show up somewhere, it's because we have a reason to show up somewhere. And that reason is not coming from the outside world, it's coming from the inside world. Your inner world is what is supporting you to take certain actions, to move in a certain direction. So if somebody can tell me, why are you here? And then I can tell you why I'm here. Anybody wants to tell me why you're here in this room today? What's your reason? Would you like to tell me?
I'm here to learn.
You're here to learn. Why are you here to learn?
Because I think that, for me personally, I think that my life is about school. So if I learn from school, I will make a better life. Very good.
So she says she's here to learn, and if she learns, she'll have a better quality of life. And that is true. I can tell you that from where I was in my life to where I am now, it's a function of one thing and one thing alone, and that is learning. Ongoing learning. You know, you've heard your teacher share that I've been doing this for 30 years, now close to 30 years. And I learned what I learned from my home, I learned what I learned from my community, I learned what I learned from my schools, I learned what I learned from my religion, I learned what I learned, and then it didn't work in my life. You understand? And so a lot of people, they want to learn and they look at the traditional sources of learning and they learn from the people around them. And we've heard that people come to my class, your lecturer comes to my class because she too, apart from her work life, other areas of her life wasn't working. You get what I mean? So the learning that we're exposed to, it's good that you want to learn, but you got to become aware of who you're learning from. See? So one of the most important things in success in life is to be teachable. So you are teachable, right? You're willing to learn. You're willing to sit in front of somebody and receive information from them. However, who you listen to is very important. You get what I mean? So how do you know who to listen to in life? How do you know?
For me, it's when I feel like I have a let's say, how to say it? I want something.
Yes.
Seeing people who did it before me.
Very good. This is a very smart young woman. You listen to people who were where you were, who are today where you want to be. Those are the people. If you want to go somewhere in life, then you listen to the people who were where you were and who are now where you want to be. So if you listen to the people who made the change from where you are to where you want to be, those are the people you listen to. You get what I mean? Sometimes we listen to the neighbor, we listen to people who haven't really accomplished anything in life. We listen to them because they have a title or they have a degree or they have authority or they have leadership. You get what I mean? So we usually listen to people who have been qualified by organizations, institutions, or to speak. But that's not necessarily the best people to listen to, right? Because they are not living what you want to live in any area of your life. You want better health, you want to be happily married, you want to have more money, whatever it is, you got to listen to the people who are actually living and doing what they're walking the talk. You get what I mean? So sometimes people might have had a silver spoon in their mouth when they were little, they got everything, and they're very successful, and today they are influencers, and you listening to them, you don't realize, but where you're coming from and where they're coming from is not going to work. You have to find somebody who's actually living, did the thing, achieved the outcome. So this is very good. So I basically teach people around three things. One is the universal spiritual principles of living a joyful, prosperous life. Universal spiritual principles. Basically, universal spirituality is that there's a higher power that supports us. Like in life, the trees give us oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide, the trees take it in, life is supported, the earth is spinning, we don't have to spin it, we don't need anybody to spin it, it's spinning. There's a sun in the sky, it gives life on earth. There is a support to life. You plant one seed, you get a tree with lots of fruits. You understand? So spirituality to me is that we are one human being on one planet with one system that is supporting of us. You take a hen, you get eggs from it. You put a rooster, you get lots of chicks coming out of it. Life is supportive. You get what I mean? So a lot of people, they don't realize. They think, I'm alone. What am I going to do? I got no money. I can't go. But people forget that life is supportive. Life is supportive, you see. So this is why I talk about spirituality. Security means you relate to universal support. You understand that behind all of life is an intelligence that's with us and for us, that gave us a brain, that gave us eyes, gave us ears, that when you look at around the animals, they can't think, they can't laugh, they can't have fun, they can't sing songs, they can't enjoy life. No insect, no, but human beings can, you see. So spirituality is about realizing there's an intelligence that has created us with the capacity to learn, to grow, to develop, that we are supported by life. So that's what I do. I teach people that open your eyes, look around, instead of being in your mind, you'll realize there's people like I am here today to support you. Again, there are people in life who've been where you've been, who are where you want to be, and we contribute, we give back. It costs me time, energy, and money, but I'm here. I'm not here for money or security. You get what I mean? I'm here from security. A lot of people do things in life for security. I'm going to work because I need the money, you see? But that's called insecurity motivation. So when you're living life, you can either live as a spiritually disempowered person. When you're living your life, you're thinking, I need. In the meantime, you have all the oxygen you require to fill your whole lungs up, and even more. What you really need, you already have. You understand? People don't realize what we really need, we already have. What we desire, we can create. You see, what you need, you already have. You don't have to worry about need. The moment you think, I need a man, I need money, I need to pass this exam, I need. What you need, you already have. You got to break the trance. You see, in religion, you hear about this character in different groups of people called Satan. You heard of him? He's the great deceiver. Doesn't want you to see the truth. Wants you to live in fear. So we all have insecurities where inside of us we all believe in an idea of need, but we don't need. When you start realizing I have the life support system, God who created this, there is a power behind all of life I can trust, you realize I cannot need. I have God. I have support of this universe. You get it? I am not religious and I'm not dogmatic. But I am a spiritual scientist where I tell people that we all can look and become aware and realize that when you plant a seed, you get a tree with lots of fruit. You took chicken and you put them together, you get a lot more chicken. You get what I mean? Life is supportive. So when you don't develop yourself in a spiritual way, in a universal spiritual way, you remain insecure. And you live your life thinking, I need. And that's when you get desperate. That's when people steal. That's when people rob and rape, because they're coming from insecurity. Do you understand? But if you realize every day, you take time every day to be still, to be out in nature, and you start looking and you see that big ball of fire in the sky, and you think, how did it get there? And at night when you go out and you look at the moon and you realize, wow, there's a big round rock in the sky. You know what I mean? And because of that, the tides, life on earth continues. You start realizing, wow. You see, so a lot of us are so in our minds, especially when we get scared and we get afraid. We go deeper into our minds. You get what I mean? So the idea is to get out of your mind, because sometimes Satan whispers in there, and then you start acting in desperate ways, and you stop realizing, I can learn, I can grow, I can succeed in life. And from security, you can choose to create in your life. From security, you can choose to. So what I'm doing here is coming from security. I'm not here for you to like me. If you like me, it's nice too. But I don't need you to like me. I don't need to be here. I want to be here. I am supporting creating a better South Africa for all. Do you understand? By me sharing with you what I'm sharing, you know people that you can go and tell them, you know what I heard today? Guy told me something very interesting, that life is supportive. And my whole life I thought, especially when in the old South Africa, life is unsupportive. You get what I mean? A lot of people have an idea, because the system is unsupportive, they think life is unsupportive. So systems can be unsupportive, I get that. But life, on the other hand, is supportive. And the good news is we can break through beyond systems and create new systems. You get what I mean? The world is changing. South Africa's changed slowly. And we can actually go ahead and become leaders and support a change of this country. So I'm investing my time and energy by coming here to speak to you, giving you a knowledge that is not in the universities, not in the places we usually go to. Practical, usable, spiritual knowledge and psychological knowledge. So the second thing I teach people is about your personal power and progress. What that is about is self-empowerment. So when you realize, I don't need to pass. I choose to pass. You see? I don't need to be in this classroom. I want to be in this classroom. Now you're not focusing on fear, Satan controlling. Now you're connected to yourself. The self. You see, the self-empowerment is your personal power. What's your reason for being here? This is an opportunity. Life is an opportunity. You have an opportunity, you're taking it. I have an opportunity, I'm taking it. I'm taking this opportunity for my reasons. You are taking this opportunity for your reasons. You must look within you into your true self. So spirituality, security is about what we are. What we are is the creation of God. You understand? Some higher intelligence, I'm not trying to convince you of anything except to tell you truth. Some higher intelligence, one universal intelligence, created humanity. That intelligence looks after all of us. It rains on everybody. The sinner or the saint plants an apple tree, apple seed, you're going to get an apple. There's a universal power. We all related equally to it. You get what I mean? So when you realize what I am is, we are the favorite creation of God. In that language, we are the highest life form on earth. We have the ability to reason, we can laugh, we can talk, we can create, we can choose what we want to do. You see, we got choice. Animals don't have. When you realize what you are, you will be able to get in touch with who you are. You see? So a lot of people, they don't know what they are. So when you see their behavior, they're confused. They behave in ways that hurt themselves, hurt other people. They rob, rape, steal, cheat, because they don't know what they are. And when you know what you are, you can then get in touch with who you are. And this is the most important thing, that when you know who you are, then you know why you're doing what you're doing, what's meaningful to you. That you're doing something because you want to do it, not because you have to do it. You're doing it because you're choosing it. There's some value to you. You feel happy. You see, if you want to pass, and I give you reasons to pass, those are my reasons as to why I think you should pass. But each of you has reasons as to why you should pass. If I say to you, why might you want to pass this course? Why might you? I'm not telling you as your teacher you should pass, it's good for you. I say, no, don't worry about me. I'm interested in you. Why might you pass? Why might you put into this class what is required from you? Why might you give this attention and focus? If you get this diploma, what difference will it make for you that you want? That if you don't do this, where does your life stay? And that you don't want it to stay. With this, where does your life go? You understand? You have to answer that question. Because that comes from who you are. Now, a lot of people don't know what they are, so they don't know who they are. They're confused. When you look at them, I want money, I want this, I want that. Just the outside world just takes control of them. They're not grounded from within. I don't blame them. This is our education system. It's still changing. Things are still changing. It's going to take a long time for things to change. You know what I mean? We have schools and universities that don't teach people how to be their best self, how to live their best life, how to really connect with you to make a difference in your own life and the lives of the people around you. How we can take people from wherever they are and give them the support they require so they can excel. That's why I teach human excellence, that anybody, from wherever you're coming, with the right support, every human being can excel. You can be the best you can be. This is the best I can be. You get what I mean? I'm choosing to be the best I that I can be. I'm choosing to live the best life that I can live. I have reasons of my own. Not my mother told me, my father told me, my teacher told me, the priest told me. I have decided that I want to feel good. You understand? I feel good about life. Life is supportive. And then it's up to me to support me feel good. So I educate myself. I educate myself about my mind, how to use it. I educate myself about my body, how to live so that I'm healthy. You understand? I want to feel good. So you educate my mind of how to feel good. I want to feel good. What do I eat so that I don't feel bad? You know what I mean? How does my body feel good? So I educate myself to feel good. So when you're insecure, you're not interested in feeling good. You're interested in avoiding feeling bad, and you're interested in trying to feel good. When people don't have a relationship with a higher power, or when people are not aware of what they are, they're not interested in feeling good. They're not choosing to feel good. They're just saying, we've got a problem, we have to solve it. It's so bad where we are. We must move away from that problem. And if we stop these bad feelings, we will feel good one day. But when we are secure, when we are connected with our source, when we're connected with our true nature, we realize, you know what, whatever's happening now is not so bad. It's uncomfortable, it's problematic, but we're alive, we're breathing, we have mind, we can learn, we can think, we can make an improvement in our own lives, in the future's life. So when people don't know what they are and they're not secure, they over-exaggerate issues in their life. You've had the world's most richest people kill themselves because their partner married somebody else. You get what I mean? People get so affected by things that don't really have that kind of power. You see them got money, fame, everything, and they go and kill themselves. I wonder what's up with those people. You know what I mean? So because they don't know what they are, they don't feel good about life, they're looking to the conditions of life to feel good. They're looking at something and they're exaggerating. So bad, this is so bad, this is so... It's not so bad. But it feels like it's so bad. You get what I mean? So when you are secure, when you have a relationship with a higher power, you realize, I got eyes to see, ears to hear, I can speak, I can reason. You realize it's not so bad. It's not so bad. It's bad, but not so bad. Then from there, instead of saying, I don't want to feel bad, I want to feel good, you say, I'm choosing to have a good feeling within me. Choosing to have a good feeling within me. So that's what I encourage people, to get in touch with good feeling within you. That's got nothing to do with your performance. That's got nothing to do with what you do in the world. That I like to enjoy feeling good by myself, with other people, in my life. I like to have fun. I like to play. I love my music. I love dancing by myself. Every day I dance at least 45 minutes by myself. Party for one every day. You understand? The best thing I can tell you is party for one every day at least 20 minutes. Because that is telling you, I am here to show me a good time. You understand? If you're not here to show you a good time, you're waiting for somebody else to show you a good time? You're waiting for the future for the good time? If you know what you are and you know who you are, and you know, I like to enjoy myself. And every day you enjoy yourself, ask them, what would I enjoy? What do I like? I love watching movies that is a whodunit. You know whodunit? It's a murder mystery. That's the kind of movies I like. I really enjoy it. Every day I watch a little bit. Enjoy it. You must have joy. You must enjoy yourself every day. If you're not doing that, then it's going to be hard for you to be dreaming of what is an enjoyable life. When you think about your future, you can't think from your head. You've got to think from your heart. If you can enjoy yourself today, then you can dream of a more enjoyable self in the future. You know, if you can enjoy what you have today, if you say, look, I have hot water, whatever it is, but these taps, they're two separate taps. One day in the future, I'd like to have a tap with the hot water and cold water. That's a mixer. You know what I mean? It's so much more comfortable. Now, this is hot, it gets too hot. This side is cold. Sometimes you do like this to get it, you know what I mean? Then you think, you know what will be more enjoyable is a tap with a mixer. You get what I mean? Now, you can get in touch with that because you know how to enjoy yourself. You know what is comfortable. You know what is enjoyable. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they don't know what they are. They don't know who they are. They're just in their heads thinking, when I become a doctor, I'll be very rich and happy. When I get married to this man, he's going to buy me everything. All is stories in your head. You understand? Because it's not about the man, it's not about the profession. It's whether you're enjoying yourself with that man or that woman, whether you're enjoying that profession. Do you understand? So a lot of people, they don't know who they are. They don't know how to enjoy themselves. So they can't picture, I'm having fun now, what's going to be more fun in the future? I started studying optometry. When I went to university, I started studying optometry. You know why? Because you wear a white coat. Back in the day, you wear a white coat, somebody of status. You get what I mean? My mind told me that. And then suddenly I discovered like psychology and this kind of thing and all that, and I left all that, I completed my degree, and I did an honors degree in psychology, and then I got into the field, started working with people, and then I designed my own teaching. What I was learning, I started teaching people because it's not in the textbooks. If you study psychology, the word love is not there. The word joy is not there. The word fun is not there. If you go to a psychiatrist, they'll never tell you about love, joy, fun, and play. It's not in their books. You get what I mean? So then I realized something not right with our learning. We're learning about life and living, but these people who are going to the counselors, the psychologists, they don't even have faith in the book. You know what I mean? Live with faith and all. Nothing. Then I decided to create my own teaching. Close to 30 years I'm sharing it. Is it meaningful to you? Does this make sense? Yes, good. So when you are a person who knows what you are and you know who you are, then you can know my life. I value my life. I value my life. I'm alive. I'm young. How many years I got, God willing, ahead of me? I say another 25 years I got a dream. I got an ambition. I look after my mind, I look after my body, I work every day towards my legacy. I want to write another 2-3 other books. I want to travel the world teaching this. I want to leave courses for other people. So I'm looking into the future and say, I have a life. I want to enjoy my life. See, what's going on here? So what you are is a spiritual being. Who you are is who you really are. And what's going on here? What's going on here? You live from certain age to a certain age, you die. What's going on here? You have life, and you can value your life, and you can appreciate your life, that you want to enjoy your life. You understand? And you can create, this is what I'm talking about. I created a job title, psycho-spiritual scientist. It didn't exist. I made it up. You understand? Like at one time there were no such things as nurses, and this lady called Florence Nightingale was helping all the guys in the war. Then they said she's a nurse. Created a new title. You get what I mean? So like that, you can also start creating beyond. You can have your qualifications, your degrees and all that, but when you get into the world, you'll realize there's a lot of gaps in the world. There's a lot of gaps in the world, and it's all about contributing. It's all about contributing. It's all about giving to other people anything of value. So about a week ago, I did a radio program, and they were talking about the matriculants and how they feel so stressed about the exams and whether they're going to get into college and university and all. I said, you know what? Just focus on your exams and do the best. After that, God will guide you, especially if you are secure. If you're thinking, oh, how am I going to survive? I need the money. No, if you know what you are, if you know who you are, and if you value your life, the secret to having money is just make a contribution in anybody's life. That's all. Support somebody's life get better. Either walk their dog, so if they're tired and they can't walk their dog, they'll wash the car, clean their pool. Anything you can do. Educate them like I'm doing. Teach somebody something. The education industry is a booming industry around the world, where people at this time, they want to learn, how do I leave my job and become self-employed? This, that, and this. So today, you don't have to worry about money. You've got to concern yourself, if I know what I am and who I am, then I value my life. Do I value other people's life? What value can I be to myself and my life? What value can I be to others? Money is about value. You get what I mean? The value that you provide for others. As long as you are interested in providing value to others, you'll always have money. Don't let the system that we're in think that you need to become this first. Yes, get all the knowledge you can. Educate yourself. But it's not about getting a job. In fact, I was having a conversation about last week. I said to her that I used to work at a private school, right? My brother worked at Toyota South Africa as an engineer. Today, my brother is Magic. He is a VIP entertainer, corporate entertainer, celebrity entertainer. He's had his own TV series on SABC. He's been on Showmax. Now he's recorded for Netflix. He's an engineer. He left it because he was in my classrooms and I was talking about purpose and enjoying your life. And he now earns in one day what he would earn for the month as an engineer, having fun. You can Google him, Magic, M-O-M-A-G. Google him. Looks a little bit like me, you'll see. Check him out. So what are we doing? How did we do it? How did we leave a place where we are working to be our own bosses and that I can come here on my own time and tell you whatever I want to tell you? How come we have this freedom? The difference is the people who got jobs, they need to get paid. See, if you focus on I need to get paid, that means you're not coming from security, you're coming from insecurity. We say we want to make a difference. We want to add value. You see the difference? The people who have jobs, they just want to get paid. They'll do the least they can to get the most money they can get. You get what I mean? But people like me, my brother and others, the money comes because we're not interested in getting paid. We receive the money. But we're interested in adding value. The more you benefit somebody's life, the more they'll part with their money and give it to you. You get what I mean? How much is this stock worth to you? If I told you 5 Rand, will you pay? 10 Rand, will you pay? 20, 100 Rand? How much will you pay for something like this? Something life-changing like this. How much is it? How much would you pay? I'm just saying, as a student, I understand. You know what I mean? But how much would you pay? I'm just asking you. Look at all the other people in this block, the people you grew up with. They haven't heard this. Chances are they may never hear it. They might never be influenced by a simple truth that can change your life that some of us are living in this country. How much is it worth to you? Am I making a contribution is what I'm asking. That's all. You just got to care about other people to help them go as far as they can go. Those people will value and give you your money. You get what I mean? But if I come here and think, what's in it for me? How am I going to get? Then you're going to say, this person wants something from me. You understand? I can tell you, look, my time is so much, this is how much I charge. You say, no problem, fair enough. You got your mouth to feed, you got other things. People will pay you. So then I focus on interpersonal relationships, which is spousal satisfaction. So there's God, there's self, there's your life, and then there's other people in your life, especially a partner. So a lot of women are interested in a man, right? A lot of men are interested in women. And sometimes today it goes different ways too, right? So, so this is like a mistake people make. Because what do you want the man for? What do you want the job for? What do you want anything for? You see? It's for you to enjoy. So a lot of people, they focus on a man or a woman rather than they focus on the experience they want to have in marriage or in a spousal relationship. So there's a project that we do, if you're interested, free of charge, once a month we give this kind of support and all that sort of thing. So this is what I've been doing with my life. Focus on God in a universal way, no dogma, rituals, universal. Focus on yourself, focus on your life, and focus on relationships that are supportive. Have people in your life that can improve your life. If you just surround yourself with people that are lower than you, and if you're the smartest person in the room, you're not growing, you understand? You could always have people around you that are smarter than you. Associations are very important. Who you hang around with, who you talk to, even as a student. If you with other students that are progressive and you join those groups, you'll be successful. If you just hang out by yourself or hang out with people that are no value to you, you're going downhill. I used to smoke drugs, do a whole lot of things. I had bad people in my life. I'm telling you from my own experience. All right, so what I want to tell you very briefly for today's session here. Here you are. That's you. When you're looking at life, if I ask you what you want, what do you want? You can either tell me, I have a desire, and it can be this big circle here. Or you can tell me, I have a need, and it's the same circle as the size of your head. It's supposed to be, right? So if I ask you, what do you want? And you think from your who you've been, your dream won't be a dream, it'll be a need, motivation. You say, I just need a job. I just need to get money. I just need to pay bills. I just need to carry on. I just need to carry on my lifestyle. You understand? Now, you got to raise self-expectation in life. Our parents didn't have the opportunities we had. Granted, right? The history of this country, today things are different, you know what I mean? So, our parents did the best for where they were. Our parents' teachers did the best for where they were. We can't go to our parents, we can't go to our parents' teachers. Times are very different today, do you understand? So, you got to raise self-expectation. Our parents might have been in a limited world, in a limited country with limitations, and they might not have expected much from them, or they had low expectations from them. They might have not expected much from you. They might have low expectations from you, but you might not realize there's a different time. You can expect more from you today because there's more support, more opportunities, etc. So you've got to raise self-expectation. You've got to look at, what did my parents expect from me? Can I expect more from me than they expected from me? Now, some of us had parents who expected this one is going to get up to nonsense, going to end up in jail. You know what I mean? That's negative expectations. Some people's parents didn't have any expectations. Some people's parents had too high expectations. We've got to have reasonable self-expectations. We've got to say, look, we have opportunities today. We can do better than our parents. We can do better than other people. We're going to take them. So you've got to raise self-expectation. If you don't raise self-expectation and you remain this person, and I ask you, what do you want for the future? Because you mustn't worry too much about the past. You mustn't worry about too much. Just enjoy yourself as much as you can now, right? But focus on a more enjoyable life. Always keep your attention on a more enjoyable life in the future. I'm enjoying myself now, because if you don't enjoy yourself now, you're not going to have a more enjoyable future. So you've got to focus on enjoying yourself as much as you can by yourself today. And you've got to always focus on a more enjoyable life. So if you ask me what I want, I'm telling you, here's my dream. And write a few more books. I want to make some courses. I want to become the course king of South Africa. Have these courses like this. It must go out from South Africa, across South Africa, into the world. I want to make millions of rands through giving information. Start my own university. You'll send your children. Okay, very good. I'm in business. Right. So, I have a dream. My mother would have never dreamed that of me. I would have never dreamed that of me. Nobody I know would dream that. My dream is bigger than who I am. My dream is bigger than who I am. See? Or you can have a dream that's the same size as you or smaller than you. Most of us, we think, but we don't have the money, but we don't have the intelligence. We can't do it. Our dreams are very small. if we have any. Sometimes they're not even dreams, they're needs. I just need to get by and survive. So what happens is, you're going to remain the same person as you go into your life. You're just going to, maybe you might have more money than your parents, a bigger house than your parents. Maybe you might be more in life seemingly with greater status, but there's not going to be real joy. There's not going to be real enjoyment. There's not going to be a real living with meaning and purpose. You're going to become one of those people who just go to and end up being very selfish in life. You know people like that. Once they make it in life, they all got their own families, their own children, lock their gates up, stay in that house, don't worry about the rest of the world. You can become like that. We want South Africa to move forward. So we want people to have a bigger dream for themselves. So what does that mean? It means you have to become a different person. You can't remain the same person. A lot of people, they don't dream because they want to remain the same person. The moment you dream, so you raise self-expectation, you say, look, I can do better than other people. Even slightly better, but I can do better. This man is giving me knowledge that is taught overseas. I'm taking it. You've got to raise your ambition. Raise your ambition. Not in terms of money, I want to become a millionaire. The last thing I said, I want to make a lot of money enjoying myself. That was the last thing I said, make a lot of. But I said I want to make a contribution. I want to leave my life's work. So I got an ambition, aspirations, at a feeling level, not at a mind level, not in the thought. What is the life I want to live? That's my dream. I want to enjoy myself, be in the world, make a difference to my life, make a difference to other people's life. And then you got to raise necessity. Why? Why? Why do I want? I mean, I can carry on for the rest of my life, but why do I want to go through now, learn how to write books, learn how to create courses? Why do I want to make more work for myself? Why? Necessity. Because I got a son, because he'll have children, because the future of South Africa, you understand, people count on us. We're not here just for one lifetime to survive and die. You know what I mean? There's more meaning, contribution. You get what I mean? Raise necessity. God has blessed me with this knowledge that has changed my life. I've been sharing it with other people. Let me share it with more people. Imagine the difference it will make to people's lives. See, raise necessity. Why I got to do this? You got to have a why. What difference will it make to me? What will it make to my future husband, my future wife, my future children? If I do this today, what difference does it make to me enjoying my life? You got to have your why. So, whenever you have a dream, it might be a dream to be healthier. It might be a dream that I'd enjoy feeling good in my body. I'd enjoy having a lot of money to spend on things that I enjoy spending. Today, if you want good things in life, I'm not just talking about fashion and all, I'm talking about food. It's expensive. You understand? So if you say, I want to be able to afford healthy food so that I can nourish my body. You know what I mean? Now, you got to become this person. From where you are to becoming that person, you can't carry on being the same small head into that reality. So how do you become this person who's got this big head? How do I become that person who made that achievement, etc.? Well, you start off by choosing to get more and more information. Get more and more information. I always tell people, don't rush to do something. Don't rush to do something. Get more and more information until you are so invested in it, the action flows naturally out of you. So how does it work for you being in this classroom? So let's say you are here, and you say, I'm here, my father forced me to do this, he thought it was a good idea, I'm just doing this because I don't want to suffer in life. And then you realize this man is telling me of what I am and who I am and what I can be, I can enjoy life. This can be a vehicle to something bigger in life. Now you have a dream. Now you're not just here that I need to pass this, I don't need to pass this. You have a dream. I want to get a certain grade. I want to pass, or I want to get a certain grade. Let me tell you a little bit something about that. So I was telling you last week I did the interview. And I told the lady, the students must not worry about after school. As long as they're willing to make a contribution to anybody else's life, they'll have money. But people think, oh, doctor, lawyer, plumber, electrician. But there's so many other ways to make a difference in something. So I also told them that the students mustn't aim high. She's like, what do you mean the students must? I said, you must just aim slightly better than where you are. If you are a 50% student, you must not aim for 80% or 90% or 100%. You must aim for 55%. She's like, but nobody, that's not sensible, Ashraf. I said, it makes sense. She said, how does it make sense? I said, if you're at 50% and you aim for 55, you may even get 60. But if you aim for, at 50%, you aim for 70, and you get 60, you feel bad. You understand? You want to develop confidence in yourself. Having unreasonable expectations or too high expectations destroys confidence. If you have small targets that you can meet and overshoot, you start feeling good about yourself. You get what I mean? So one of the mistakes that people make is that they aim too high, and then when they don't get there and they get a few marks less, they feel bad. And what happens? You start feeling like a loser. And then what that leads to, a loser's effect, it's called. I got to where I am in my life because of small wins. See, right here is small wins. You got to, whatever you do, whether you're studying, you can't study from fear. You can't study for fear of failure. You've got to relax and say, I don't need to study. I want to study. If I don't study, the sun still rises, it still sets. It's not needed for me to study. I want to study. I have a feeling in me for a better life. So when you study, you're going to study from a state of security, not from, I'm scared to fail, I need to pass. You've got to relax, and you've got to dream. You understand? I'm enjoying myself today. I'm seeing myself where I want. Studying is an opportunity for me to get there. You have a definite outcome, define it outcome. You must know clearly what you want ultimately. And then you focus on small wins. Small wins. What can I do today in support of this defined outcome? Today, what can I do? Can I open this book today? Can I read one page from it? Make it so easy that it's impossible to not do it. Set small wins of what I'm, instead of saying I'm going to study this whole chapter today, can I read one page? You'll read 3 pages. You'll realize, hey, this is cool. If you have small achievable things, you actually do more than that. The next day you'll find you pick up the textbook, you'll be reading more without even trying to force yourself to read. You get what I mean? So you've got to understand this, that the application and action ratio is 2 different things. Before you can act to do something, like I need to study or I want to study, you must have got yourself to the point where you're tipped over, the studying happens naturally. A lot of people try to force themselves to study. A lot of people try to force themselves to lose weight, right? I mustn't eat this, I used to smoke cigarettes. I was a heavy addict. And while I was smoking, all I did was read books on how harmful cigarette smoke is. That's all I did while I was smoking. You understand? Other people say, let's try and quit. Next thing, I'm reading over 200 chemicals in cigarettes. None of them are beneficial to the body. It coats your lung with tar. I'm thinking, my God, it can't be that bad. If it was that bad, the government wouldn't allow it. Then I realized it's taking taxes from this government. It wants tax from the cigarettes. You know what I mean? They're not interested in the people. They're interested in the tax that they're getting from it. Then it struck me, this thing should have been banned. It's destroying people's lives. It's written there. Can cause cancer. You know what I mean? But when we live in society, nobody looks at it like it really is. It's a poison. Nobody ever says, what are you putting that poison in your mouth for? Why are you destroying? The people who I used to smoke with back in the day, about 3 of them are dead today. One can't breathe. The other one used to walk around with the little canister, oxygen can, because God's good oxygen that goes in and the carbon dioxide that comes out, they created a block in their lungs that no oxygen can go in, no carbon dioxide, and they died. The guy's wife told me he stood up in the morning, he ran outside to breathe, he fell and died. Did God do that to him? No, he did that to himself. You get what I mean? So in society, so many things are minimized. You get what I mean? And then I realized, hey, I'm not an ass. There's many things I am, but I'm not an ass. I'm not going to spend money to kill myself. You know what I mean? Then I stopped smoking automatically. There was not one good thing about cigarettes. It didn't even calm you down. Everything, when you ask a cigarette smoker what you're getting out of it, they tell you lies because they're getting nothing out of it. The only thing they're getting out of it is Satan is enjoying making them mad. You know what I mean? They're gone. So what I'm saying is, don't rush to take action. If you feel like I want to eat better, if you feel like I want to study, don't rush to study. This is a very different teacher here. Yeah. Get yourself energized about why that is so important to do. You get what I mean? When you become the person with this big head here, you will have more awareness and you will naturally do it. At the time of the COVID, right? It was lockdown, remember. So I never used to go traveling around the country, and I started picking up weight, so getting fat. And now I'm thinking, I'm getting fat, sitting at home, you can't leave the house, whatever it is. What can I do? And years ago, I tried walking, I tried this, I tried that, didn't work. But at the time of the COVID, I started going on YouTube and watching these videos. What's the easiest thing that I can do that can benefit me? Watching this video. Walking. I started realizing if you walk every day, the benefits that it has to you over time. And so ever since then, I started walking 3 minutes. Can I walk for 3 minutes from 7 o'clock to 3 minutes past 7? Up and down this passage. Yes, I did it. Then I got it so easy. I can walk for 3 minutes. Let me walk for 4 minutes. I walk for 4 minutes. Today, they have to force me to come back in the house because I love walking. You understand? You can't stop me from walking. You get me? You got to get to the point where nobody can stop you from studying, not even you. The thing that benefits you, you must get to the point where nobody can stop you. Instead of saying, I must try and study, I don't know, I can't open this book, you're not going to work. But when you speak to other people about success and they tell you, this is the benefit of what you're doing, and if you do this, suddenly you have an awareness, you reach a tipping point, and you start acting. 90% is getting yourself in the right level of awareness. The 10% is action. You get what I mean? So, is this helpful to you? Yes. I'm glad. So, you've got to have a level of desire to live naturally, to live healthily, to be a difference in the society, to be a difference on this planet. You've got to have a level of desire. You've got to have a level of belief. Especially if we don't see other people. Everybody everybody you see is living the old program. They're in the old system, right? There's a new way of living today that people are waking up. It's not the same world we're living in. People are realizing that the most precious and most valuable commodity is what? If I ask you, what is the thing? What do you consider to be the most valuable resource? What is the most beneficial thing to us? What makes the greatest difference in our life? You go and ask people outside this classroom, what do they think, if I have to give you something that's going to make the most amount of difference in your life, what would it be? What would you say before this talk today? Money, right? So we think outside resources, money is a resource or something from outside, right? But I want you to understand, this is for people who are unenlightened. Because after me talking to you today, you must understand that the greatest resource, the thing that's going to make the most difference to you in your life is you. It's how you think. It's how you act. It's how you live. You see, people are in a trance. They're all living. When you walk out there, you'll see people like this. Same story, money. It's not money. There's people with a lot of money, they have no happiness. There's people with a lot of money, they can't make success in life. It's not money. It's your own capacity. If you believe in being self-beneficial, be self-beneficial, live progressively, empower yourself. These resources are valuable, but not as valuable as your resourcefulness. Be a resourceful person. Learn self-reliance. Get education like this that gets you to feel your power, that you can use your power within you, that you have within you capacity. You can reason. You can figure these things out. You can be creative. You see? So if you want a copy of my book, a digital version free of charge, you can go to free PDF book at ashrafmoorad.com. She'll give you the details, right? She'll put a link. And if you want access to last year's recording where I spoke to the students here, we'll see if we can get that recording for you and put a link there. And if you want a recording of this, we'll put a link. Would you like a recording of this that you can listen to? I'm telling you something. If you listen to this every day, you will be listening from somebody who has gone into a different world from the people you've been with, and you can begin to see that world. This world will become more and more real to you beyond the world of our parents and teachers and their teachers and all that. This is a different reality. So with that, I'd like to thank your lecturer for giving me the opportunity for being here with you and for sharing this with you. And, I believe in you. I want you to understand that you might have never had anybody believe in you because nobody believed in them. But I believe in human beings, especially those who want to learn. You see? So thank you so much. It's been a great privilege and pleasure to share with you all. Like me, when I was growing up, I looked around and I saw people that we were growing up with, and I got inspired. I want to become like this and become like that. And then you go through life, you study something, and then you figure out you don't know if it's you don't know where you are. You see, when you look at society, you'll be very disillusioned and disappointed. But you mustn't let that go. We have to look beyond what we see. We must look at the potentials of humanity. We must look at the possibilities for humanity. This is why I was saying that if you look at where you are, your results now, if you look at all that, you can get very sad. You know what I mean? But you've got to enjoy yourself today and look at a better future for all. And you've got to work towards it. So we have a very unique opportunity in this country. The challenges of this country, we are the answer to the challenges of this country. You especially are the young people. You understand? So this is good. You're in the right place. So to answer your question, you got to get in touch with your true self. Your true self is what you're going to get in touch with. So how do you get in touch with your true self? What do I enjoy? What can I be interested in for hours? Time stands still. What, when I do it so well, or I want to learn about it, that it feels like no time has gone by, but hours go by. You see? So you've got to figure out, do I allow myself to enjoy myself? Do I allow myself to enjoy being myself? So speaking is one way to find out who you are. Be in a club or society of people who allow you to speak, you know what I mean, where you get an opportunity to speak. That's what's changed my life. So when you speak about you, when you have people who listen to you, you can discover you. When you allow yourself to have fun and play, you discover you. And then you'll get in touch with the spirit within you of what's calling. And you'll find that likely it is to minister to people. Like, this is my ministry. Do you understand? Each one of us can have our own ministry, while we got our own job, while we got our own thing, what we stand for, what we believe in, what we want to make a difference. So what do you enjoy doing? What do you do for fun?
Cooking.
Cooking, okay.
Cooking.
Yes. And besides cooking, what do you do for fun?
Sometimes reading Bibles.
Okay. What do you do for fun?
Again.
Huh?
Working.
Walking. Okay. What do you do for fun?
Talking.
About what?
About life, about improving. I always think of
Okay,
improving.
okay. So you've got to figure out what you do when you're doing it. It makes you come alive. It brings out in you. You understand? And it must be coming from within. So whether you like exercising or walking or talking to people or cooking, your passion, your enthusiasm. Passion and enthusiasm means God within, entheos. You know what I mean? So get in touch with yourself. Allow yourself to have fun and play. Sing, dance by yourself. That's what I always tell my students. Sing songs by yourself. Dance. Just let loose. Get out of your mind. Have fun. Don't worry if other people see you. It's okay. But you got to allow yourself to enjoy yourself. If you don't allow, like children. So when you're growing up, did you have fun? Did you play? Did people play with you? Then what happened to that fun year? You've got to see at which point it stopped. You know what I mean? And then bring that child back. Say, I'm here for you. I want to entertain you, have fun for you, with you. You've got to build that relationship with you. When that child within you is having fun, now you're activated. Now you'll start drawing people. Your path will unfold in life. But you must learn to have fun. Very important. You get what I mean? All right, thank you for that. Anybody else? Imagination. If you've got joy in your heart, and you can use the power of your imagination, because fun and play and imagination are very closely linked. When you're a child, you play, right? And a lot of play is done with imagination. You get what I mean? As soon as you go to school and go to university, then the people lose their imagination and their fun and play. But if you can use the power of your imagination, animals cannot imagine, insects can't imagine. Human beings, we imagine things into existence. You understand? Imagination, fun and play is how you create. Whether it was Bill Gates, anybody, people who make the aeroplane, everybody who progressed in life, they could imagine. Anything that you see today was imagined in somebody's mind. So use the power of your imagination. See yourself in the reality you want to be in. Like, for example, if you see yourself passing, writing, see yourself sitting down and studying and enjoying sitting down and studying. Before you can have it, this is part of the application that at least you must see yourself doing something and say, I'm so relaxed and I'm easily opening my book and I'm studying. And while I'm studying, I can see myself absorbing information. And when I'm taking the exam, I see myself relaxed and these answers are coming to me. When I open my report card and I see it, I see a grade that I'm happy. So this is how you use the power of your spirits. You see, even Jesus says in the Bible, when you want something, pray believing that you have it. So come from havingness. Somewhere here I wrote, vision. Come from havingness. Live in the end. See? And then a process will unfold. So you have a desire, you have a conception, you have a vision and a process. So you must always have a vision that if it were so now, how do I want it to be? My experience of studying, how do I want it to be? My experience of taking exams, how do I want it to be? My experience of looking at my result, how do I want it to be? So your imagination takes you into an alternate science, this, right? This is quantum mechanics. All realities exist simultaneously. There have been discoveries in science in the last 100 years that they don't tell people about. That how there are multiple realities and how amazing things can happen just by dreaming. So this knowledge is not given to the people because they're scared to give the people, but a lot of people do use it for their own benefit. It's known in the world. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for the time. Pleasure. You see, it's a pleasure. This is what you can live in life. A pleasure that you're coming from benefiting yourself and you're cool with yourself, having fun by yourself, and then you can have fun with other people too. The people who want to play the game with you. Get what I mean? Like you want to play the game, right? But there'll be people who say this is all nonsense. They'll dismiss it. But some people will play the game. You see? Yes. All right, we'll make those information available and all that information. All right? Okay. All right, I'm off. Thank you so much. Okay.